This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
Rooker, it's a fly ball to deep center. Robert going back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Adolis Garcia swings on the other way. That sends Carroll back. He's at the wall. Grows. Ronald Acuna, another milestone in a truly historic season. Julio with an absolute nuke out to left field.
It's Glaber Day. And like a good Glaber, Torres is there.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe. From humidors to Stuff Plus to walk-off dingers, we have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to A's Cast Live. We got an early guest today. We got a Dodger broadcaster because we're never going to have the Dodgers during the week, correct?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, because they start next week. A week from today,
You should have done today. Know your Dodgers for Johnny.
Oh, I mean, we still can do some stuff with Johnny on the Dodgers. He texted me multiple times yesterday how disappointed he was. He didn't know Mariner, Moose, and and the big dumper.
Layups. They were layups. Johnny grew up a Dodger fan too. This would be a very critical know your Dodgers.
Yeah, maybe I will look into doing that with Johnny.
Maybe get some Oral Hershiser. Get some Maury Wills.
Eric Karros.
EK, our friend EK.
Hideo Nomo. Fernando Mania.
Oh, got to get Fernando in there. Got to get some old school.
Sandy Koufax.
I mean, maybe going to Brooklyn. Like, how well do you know your Brooklyn Dodgers? Pee-wee and the boys?
Who were the rookies? Was the 4 straight rookies of the year in the 90s? Wasn't it like Piazza, Mondesi?
Hollinsworth.
Was
Mondesi.
Piazza,
EK,
Nomo?
and was it Nomo? Was EK? Oh, EK was. But EK was a rookie of the year.
So they had like
They've
five.
had a bazillion. They've had like a bazillion. Some guy named Jackie Robinson. You might have heard of him.
Good player.
Duke Schneider.
Good player.
Hall of Famer.
They had a really good Rule 5 guy back in the day. Some guy named Clemente. He was pretty good. But the Pirates ended up swiping from them.
They didn't have him.
Yeah,
they had him taken from him. All right, so Tim Neverett from the Dodgers is going to be here at 11:15. What is it like? This is a baseball team not being covered like a baseball team. Like when you think of teams that had extreme coverage and entertainment value, I mean, you got to think of Jordan with the Bulls back in the day. You got to think about probably the 98, 99 Yankees. You know, teams that they just can't walk into the front of the hotel. They're like rock bands. I mean, there's certain teams. NFL is so different than NFLs are so much security. They just that's you've got you got police escorts. I mean, even the horrible teams have police escorts. You have your own security system. It doesn't work that way. But for basketball and baseball teams, I mean, this is going to be a big deal. They're going to be an absolute. I mean, the Dodgers are always a draw. They're going to be a huge draw. Yamamoto, you got Shohei Ohtani. I mean, it's going to be incredible.
Surprising that Yamamoto's not starting opening night in Korea versus Yu Darvish.
They got Glass now.
Yeah, Glass was starting opening night against Darvish, and then Yamamoto starting the next night against Joe Musgrove, I believe is who it is.
Musgrove's going today, right? Is he going against us, right?
Yeah, he is, yes. And it's Stripling on the mound for the A's.
So it's Padres A's today. We've already played Know Your Friars, so it almost would be interesting to play Know Your Dodgers. I have got Towny's little bookie shop. We're going to open it up today. I know some people have asked me. We're going to do this today. Overs and unders. There's some predictions out there and how we feel because MLB Network has been at our camp, how they feel, what they think. And we can't bet baseball. We have to sign this thing every year. We got to watch a video. We can't bet baseball, but we can help you bet baseball. There's no rules against us making the audience money. I'm here. You know what? It's called sports investing. It's like a retirement program. It's like a 401k. We're helping you make money. Everybody wants to bet football, but you know what? Betting football is not smart. you don't win. If you bet baseball on a consistent basis, you can be a winner. They allow you to bet on pitchers now, the first 5 innings of the game, so you don't worry about the bullpens. I mean, just think, if you get a team that has an incredible month and you ride that team, how much money you would make betting that team. Or if you have if you bet against the A's last year, every single game, you make money.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean, it's just you can make money betting baseball. And I love the total bets because your bet rides for 6 months. I mean, you bet a total and you just watch it throughout the year. Sometimes it's going to be you're going to, whether you bet the over or the under, you know you're going to win it easy, or it comes down to the very end and you're sweating it and it's exciting. I love the totals. I absolutely love the totals. We'll talk about the A's totals, and we'll talk about some totals that some experts. And I was going to get right into. Do you got my sounder, my Towny's little bookie shop sounder? Got to open up the bookie shop.
Yeah, give me a second. I made a whole new thing in here for it too. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, is there anything better than when you walk into that casino, the cigarette smoke, the stained carpet, people playing the slots, the girls walking around serving drinks? Is there anything better than going in that casino?
No, it's weird too because it's weird going.
And sometimes there's anything better than getting the hell out of that casino.
Yeah, I would say because smoking's banned everywhere. So when so essentially, no one cares. But in Pennsylvania, where I grew up, the mall that we had, they made part of it a casino. So there's a huge casino in Western PA in the town up for my parents. Half it's a mall, the other half is a casino, and
Really?
It does great business. I mean, it brings in a ton of money for the area. Doesn't matter what day of the week you're there. There's a ton of people there drinking, gambling, smoking cigarettes. And then you can just walk out and go to the mall and buy a pair of tennis shoes, go get something to eat, whatever. I mean, whatever you need to do if you don't want to eat at the casino. It's a really interesting. When I heard about that, I'm like, there's a casino in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Then you got the rivers in Pittsburgh as well, down the North Shore by Heinz Field and PNC Park. So multiple casinos in the Western PA area, where we have to go north of us to go to any here in the Bay Area. Right.
You got anything else on malls in Pennsylvania and a casino?
No, that's it.
The point was going into a casino, smoking. Can you smoke in this casino?
Yeah, there's a sports book there too.
So there you go. There's a little Pittsburgh knowledge. You get a little Pennsylvania knowledge with Cody. Yeah. Anything else about your hometown that no one's going to care about that we should know?
Go Mason Miller. He's from the area.
So we're going to open up the little bookie shop today. We got the sounder going, and we're going to check. We're not going to get into it right away because we are going to talk about the Dodgers with Tim Neverett, broadcaster. I can tell you this. One expert I looked at and I thought was and it's the first thing of this article that I found, is that the Dodgers, I mean, their win total always these days is going to be 100 plus, right? It's been an amazing run. They've won the division 10 out of 11 years.
The year they didn't.
Out of 11 years.
And the year they didn't, they won 106.
Yeah. Well, this year it's 104.5. And
seems right on.
And the bet may be the under.
Ooh.
The bet may be the under.
Oh, it's spicy.
So we'll get into that. I like it. It might be the end because let's face it, they're going to win their division, but their pitching is still an unknown. Their defense is really an unknown. It's really an unknown. But they have so much talent, the Dodgers will overcome. But I want to get into quickly before we get to Tim.
I'm going to kill the sounder and save it for later.
Yeah, save it. With the A's, Nick Allen's not going again today.
Correct. Max Schumann's is short.
Aledmus Diaz with a setback.
Yeah, calf strain now on top of the groin.
Are we now going to be shocked if the opening day starter at shortstop is Hernaiz? Darell Hernaiz, your opening day shortstop. Like, we were wondering, how does he make the team? We are a pro Hernaiz show. We would like to see him make the club because he is another guy at what, 22?
22, yeah.
How old is he at 27 and 28?
Wait, what? How old is he?
2027,
Oh, yeah.
2028. How old is he?
He would be 26, 27, right in the middle of starting his prime.
Right? These are the players you need to find. I don't need 30-year-olds. I need 20-year-olds.
Oh, so you're not a fan of who's in right field today then?
Oh, my God. Who?
Old friend Steven Piscotty in right field coming over from minor league camp.
What a great guy he is. Steven Piscotty is a great human being, Bay Area kid, love him to death. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They even mentioned it, MLB Network. You know, it's going to be, I've understood. I've been saying this for 2 years. The A's run, you know, you won 97 games 2 straight years. COVID hit. You won the division. You fell short all 3 years of the playoffs. The 4th year of the run, you did everything you could. You got to 86 wins. It wasn't enough. And then everything changed. Well, when everything changed, we don't control it. That's the funny thing. We understand how people feel, but we don't control how things work. We don't run the business. And all of a sudden it became rebuild time. Well, when it becomes rebuild time, you understand what that means. And it happens in all sports. So now you start to project, okay, when can you win again? How do you win again? And you don't win with 30-year-olds in a rebuild. That's just fact. That's why it made no sense for Aledmus Diaz. It made no sense for Jace Peterson. None of that made sense last year. But I got to sell it. I get it. That's my job. But now, if you're giving me Lawrence Butler at 23 and you're giving me Hernaiz at 22, and I can start looking, oh, wait, when this thing could be good again and really good, and now all of a sudden you're one of the better teams in the game, you're going to have these kids. And that is huge. So you know what? If he is the opening day shortstop, all right, that's fine with me. I mean, that's something we really, we're not that far away, Cody. How many, 10 days left?
Yeah, we go back to the Bay Area on the 24th, right? Because then we play the Giants 25th, 26th, opening days the 28th. So we're like 2 weeks away, 2 weeks in a day, so 15 days away from opening day. And
but when do we come back?
The 24th, I think, is like when we start coming back to the Bay Area because the game's the 25th. So you got till the 23rd, that Saturday. It's the last game in Arizona. Sunday off day, then Monday against the Giants at the Coliseum.
Yeah, next weekend, the A's are done on a Saturday. 24th is an off day, travel day, Bay Bridge Series on the 25th. I mean, you're not playing right now. If you can't go right now, you are a question mark. We'll get into Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is traveling to Los Angeles to see Dr. Elatraj, which is not a good sign. I mean, it is what it is. Lucas Giolito had the bracket surgery, the Brock Purdy, Shohei Ohtani surgery, out for the year with the Red Sox. Major League Baseball is looking into, you can look into however you want. I will get into this. Leagues getting into injuries, the only time it's going to really matter is when it can affect their bottom line. And we saw that with the NFL and concussions. When lawsuits, CTE, neurologists, and everybody started freaking out about football had to start getting concerned with head injuries, right? Years ago with the prescription drugs, because they were getting sued, they needed to start reining in what the staff was giving the players. And that goes way back into the NFL, even AFL, just giving guys prescription drugs, essentially painkillers. So when a league starts to feel it could be sued, it could be in trouble, then all of a sudden you start having, let's form committees. I don't know how baseball would. They can look into pitchers' injuries. I don't know what they can do. I don't know how. You're not going to go, well, these doctors say a sweeper or this certain pitch is bad for the elbow. They're not going to now ban the sweeper. So I don't know what possibly that would mean. Tim was there for a second.
Yeah, he was, and then he dropped. I was going to tell you he's there, and then he'll be back. Same thing happened to Johnny. Remember, you mentioned it. 2 things about Arizona: no coffee and bad Wi-Fi.
Well, where is he today? Is he at Camelback?
Yeah,
Camelback Wi-Fi. We didn't even. It was out when we played there.
Oh well, hopefully that's not the issue here. Then I mean, if not, worst case, we'll give him a phone call. But it's the power of this technology is we could do both. So I'll wait and see if he says that he had an issue, and then I'll give him a call. Give him another minute or so.
So that's something we could get into today. Like, it's interesting. Like, what if you find out medically throwing these 2 pitches are one of the main reasons why we have so many elbow injuries? What do you do? You think front offices are going to say, you're getting people out with that pitch, don't use it? Doubt it.
He said bad connection, so he's already talking about the Wi-Fi. So I'll say, if you need me to call you on the phone, I will.
Yeah. Well, if he's at Camelback Ranch, their Wi-Fi down in Arizona at these ballparks is awful. Like, I had to, for like the one game, if anybody out there was listening, the game that we did against the Dodgers from Camelback Ranch, I had to go and use my phone and go through my old system that I used for the sidelines with the Raiders.
Oh, we got him though.
Yeah. So if he's at Camelback, it might be, we'll see. Tim, how are you?
Okay. Yeah, I had to switch over to my phone. It's funny because there's nobody in here yet, and still the internet's a little bit challenging. I'm in the Chicago White Sox TV booth, and I thought that maybe we'd have good internet in here.
Yeah, Camelback has a little issue with Wi-Fi.
Sometimes, yeah, they're working on it.
So I was talking about it before you showed up. When we start looking at the Dodgers this year, as we're going around all the camps, I think back of Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls, that traveling show, the A's of the late 80s and 90s when you had Canseco dating Madonna. When you think about, the Yankees of like 98, 99, these certain teams that are like rock star teams that you can't walk into the lobby of the hotel because it's so crazy. Are we getting the sense? LA always is a big draw. It's Los Angeles. But with the way this team is constructed now, especially with Shohei Ohtani, what's the coverage like? And do you think this year on the road, this is going to be like a rock band?
I think so. I mean, the Dodgers are unlike a lot of teams where we travel with multiple security personnel. A lot of teams might have one sometimes. Sometimes they might have one full-time. We have multiple people that travel with us anyway, and they're on high alert this year because, it's going to be somewhat of a circus, probably especially when we go to New York because it's always a circus there outside the hotel. But the hotels do a good job in, for people who are looking for autographs and whatnot, the hotel security does a great job in keeping people in one certain area where they can ask from there so that the hotel lobbies aren't full. But yeah, it's going to be pretty wild. There's no doubt. Already, even spring training, it's been wild simply because of the fact that, you've got Ohtani here, Yamamoto here. The foreign press, has doubled or tripled our regular media contingent. So, when we start traveling, I know our first road trip is to Chicago and Minnesota. So it won't be too bad there, I don't think. But still, everybody's going to want to see the Dodgers this year with Ohtani and Yamamoto. And, with what Tyler Glasnow did pitching yesterday, he seems to be rather ready and looking as good as he ever has.
I know I've been to Japan twice with the A's. It's an unbelievable experience. You guys are about to head over. I'm not sure if you're going or not, but to South Korea to take on the Padres. How's the organization? How is everybody feeling about starting overseas in Asia?
They're ready. I mean, they have been planning for this for a year or more. They've got a contingent going over. I know that I'm not going to be on the plane tomorrow. But the rest of the team and a lot of people are going, and they're really looking forward to it. It's a great event. I mean, it's a great international sporting event. It's a cultural exchange. It's a lot of things, and they'll play 4 games there, 2 against the Padres that count, and then the Dodgers will play the Kaiwoom Heroes of the KBO, and then the next night they'll play Korean national team. And the Padres are going to play the LG Twins and then the Korean national team. So the exhibition games are going to be crazy. Now, the capacity at the stadium they're playing in, and it has to be indoors because I know we checked the weather yesterday. It was like 30 degrees in Seoul. But it's going to be very cold there. It's still winter in Seoul. But they're playing at the Gochuk Sky Dome, which only seats about 17,000, I understand. It's a very, very small stadium. So that's going to be
ticket to that. How about getting a ticket to that if there's only 16,000?
Yeah, good luck. They sold out in minutes once they went on sale. So, yeah, it's just it's a crazy, crazy demand for tickets over there. I know we as Dodger employees, we got a note saying if we wanted to get tickets, if we were going over there, we could, but this is what it would cost. And I was like, whoa, that's amazing. That's like U2 at the Sphere cost in Vegas. So, so I politely declined.
What's the capacity there at Camelback Ranch? It's got to be around 14, 15, right?
Yeah, we can get 12 to 14 in here. Yeah, 12 plus is considered a sellout. So I mean, the stadium there is not going to be all that much bigger than what we have here, and it's going to be domed. So it's going to be a different experience, but getting the opportunity to play there is going to be great. And you got to look at what's happening around baseball anyway, because every year now there's going to be different international series. We just saw the Red Sox and Rays play a spring training series in the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo. We will see, an event in Europe at some point. I mean, we've seen them in London, but I think we'll see it in Europe proper at some point. I mean, I can't see the major league teams not going back to Japan. I know the A's went there several years ago and started the season, but I can't not see Major League Baseball going back to Japan at some point. They have to, I would think. So the Mexico City, I think last year was one. So I mean, just the international games itself, it really helps to promote the game, and I think this trip to Korea is going to be it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for people. Even though there's a lot of baseball involved and not a lot of sightseeing, but still, I think they'll be able to see enough and enjoy the culture enough.
You think about in baseball history, Robin Yount being a great shortstop and then going out to center field and winning another Gold Glove and an MVP. Craig Biggio coming out from catcher and playing second base. Guys moving positions that you normally don't see. And then I think about Mookie Betts going from outfield, right field, second base to shortstop. I mean, we know this guy, everything he does, he's excellent at. Whether it's baseball, it's bowling, it's like anything. But just what is that like to watch a guy basically go from being a right field to a shortstop? Something I don't know we've seen too much in this game's history.
We haven't, as a matter of fact. I think the only guy to win a Gold Glove in the outfield and then go play 100 or so games at shortstop, Mookie's not at 100 yet, but he will be, was Tom Tresh of the 1965 Yankees.
Wow.
Who did that. But that's the only guy that we can find that's ever done that. But Mookie's won 6 Gold Gloves. He's the only guy in Major League history to win multiple Gold Gloves as an outfielder and then go play shortstop. So no one's ever done it.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but that's him. I mean, he can do anything he wants. I mean, he's that kind of athlete. He could pitch if he wanted to. He could catch if he wanted to. He could play wide receiver in the NFL if he wanted to. He could play point guard in the NBA if he wanted to. I mean, he bowls perfect games. He's just if he puts his mind to it, he can do it. He's just exceptionally gifted.
Let's end on this. We know you got the broadcast today, and we really appreciate the time. Obviously, the Dodgers, Vegas has them at 104.5 wins. They've won the division, 10 out of 11 years. I don't think that's going to change. We've covered Giants. We've covered Padres. We've covered Diamondbacks. And we know for sure not the Rockies. I mean, Dodgers are going to win this division again. But if you were concerned about anything with the Dodgers this season, what would be your concern?
Well, obviously, concern is it's relative, I guess. But in this case, there's been some issues in the infield at second base right now. Gavin Lux will be back in the lineup today. He was off yesterday. He was homesick. So he'll get a chance again today, but he's had some issues throwing the ball. So hopefully he's behind those. Hopefully, those go away and he'll be okay. So that was one concern, I think, heading into the game today and heading into the regular season games against the Padres. He's going to be the regular second baseman, at least to start the season, and Mookie's going to be at short. It's hard to say this, but it's just kind of strange because of the way the Dodgers do business. It's hard to find things that you're concerned about right now. Bullpen is full. Justin Wilson, who major league veteran, just opted out of his contract yesterday. He could make anybody else's bullpen right now. He's pitching exceptionally well. So he'll get a job in the next day or so. There's going to be some veteran guys who are going to be disappointed, I think after the Korea trip, because we can take 31 guys to Korea. Only 26 can be active for the regular season games, but 31 players are going. And then we come back and play the Freeway Series against the Angels. Then after that, they're going to cut down to 26. So there's still a little ways to go. But, the starting pitching has been improved. And I know that we still have Walker Buehler and Clayton Kershaw coming back at some point this season, and Dustin May at some point this season. So, watching Yamamoto pitch, watching Glasnow pitch. Glasnow was, he had a perfect game going yesterday, and he was just right on target with everything. It was really fun to watch. So starting pitching right now, not that much of a concern. Maybe the fifth spot, but, long way to go before we can start poking holes in everything.
Hey, we always appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of the spring, and we'll talk to you during the season, and good luck to the Dodgers.
Sure thing. Anytime, man. Appreciate it.
Take care. Yeah, I would love to go to South Korea. They had the Olympics in Seoul. I don't remember when. When were the South Korea the Seoul Olympics?
I'm going to look real quick. 1988.
1988.
The year I was born.
Yeah, so that would have been after Los Angeles in 1984. When your own Mark McGuire was on the Olympic team, and Will Clark and Corey Snyder and those guys.
believe today is Will Clark's 60th birthday.
Will Clark 60?
I think I saw that going around on X earlier. I think he's now 60. Will Clark is 60. Well, it doesn't have his birthday. It says the year. Today's his birthday, March 13th, 1960.
Happy birthday, Thrill.
60 years old for Will the Thrill. Man. There's another birthday coming up soon, too, huh?
Yeah. Friday. What would you get me?
Nah, I still have to go and grab it tonight.
Yeah, that's what I thought. How cool would it be to go to Korea? You got to remember, you're on a baseball budget. When you're in the traveling party, baseball's paying for the flight. Baseball's giving everybody, it's not the teams that are paying for it. Baseball pays for it. So you're getting I showed up at the Towny Hotel, rolled down. Hey, how's everybody doing? Here's an envelope. Envelope's got a bunch of money in it. You have no idea what the money means. You just know you got money. Dude, I literally would be at places, and because we went we went out, right? We partied, we went out. We went nuts. Both times I've gone to Japan, and people in Japan are great, right? They're honest, right? It's not like being in the United States of America. You'd be like, just how much do I owe you? Just take it. And they would take the money, and that was it. I don't know how much it is. Now, the second time around, I had the translator, the Google, so where you could put it down and it would translate it into English. I didn't have that the first time. But yeah, literally, especially when you're out at night and you've been boozing and you're like, I don't know, they you're not in a tourist trap. You're in a, they don't speak English, but they're beautiful people, the Japanese people. And you would just, this is the money I got. And they would take it out, and they have a ton of coins. Oh, it's annoying. They have a ton of coins. We want to get rid of coins, but you just have a pocket full of coins constantly when you're in Japan, and they take the coins and okay. We good? We're good. Out. But to go over there and Major League Baseball is giving you a ton of cash and everybody, the traveling party all has money and you're all going out. Oh, my God, I can't imagine. Be a great time. An absolute great time to be in South Korea. And they do. So the players, they've got to do their stuff. Well, last time I checked, I'm not a player. So I would hop on the trip with the wives and the girlfriends and the family. So Major League Baseball puts trips together and they take you to certain stuff. I hopped on all those trips. They were fun. I was actually talking about with Vince's wife last time we were there. Yeah, you get on the MLB trips. Yeah, and it was funny. I'll never forget this. I had the first time I went, my boss gave me, remember the old video? They had those little cameras. They didn't make it, but flip camera or whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah.
And you could and he gave me one and said, I want you to follow everything. And on the way over there, I'm talking about, and Susan Slusser, swear to God, I go, I'm not going to practice. I'm going to videotape all. She goes, why would you do that? Who would care? Oh, you're right. You're right, Susan. I should go to the Tokyo Dome and cover Scott Sizemore because that's what really. No, that people will go to your blog on sfgate.com to do that crap. I got huge views on our website. We went outside of Japan to the volcano, and we were there was a picture of Brandon McCarthy somewhere on the internet. You can find a picture of Brandon McCarthy's wife feeding me, and we had the pirate ship, and people loved it. Oh, but I need to go to the Tokyo Dome. Scott Sizemore is going to be the third baseman. Get the hell out of here.
I think we're going to say Scott Sizemore taking batting practice. Got to see him taking hacks.
Oh, Kurt Suzuki's back in Japan. Nobody cares. But people love the videos and all the pictures, the ancient temples and all this kind of stuff. That would be great. Dodgers. It's just a little under $1.2 billion spent this offseason. But yeah, there are questions. Like Tyler Glasnow has never thrown over 120 innings, but one time in his career. You have no idea.
Wasn't it last year?
It was last year. You have no idea what Yamamoto's going to give you. I think he's going to be fantastic. He should be, right? But you don't. This is a guy that pitches every 6 days, right? I mean, at some point, reading the stuff about, I have this article in the house about Clayton Kershaw. I mean, I'm glad Kershaw's back there. Seriously, do I want to see him showing up with the Rangers against us later this year? No. But he should finish a Dodger. And as he mentioned, Ginger Guard, Dustin May's coming back, Walker Buehler. I mean, they don't have anybody that you're like, I'm guaranteed this guy can do this. They don't have that.
Yeah, even their most consistent guy,
Bobby Miller.
I would say Miller, who they counted on so much last year.
But are you going to say?
He was a rookie last year.
Yeah, are you going to say for sure? And then Gavin Lux continues to be the uber prospect they would never get rid of. That Gavin Lux is not young anymore. And he's having throwing problems. He's back, I guess, in the lineup today. But this kid blew out his knee last year. He can't say. How old is Gavin Lux?
He's playing second base now, too, because of Mookie.
And Mookie Betts playing shortstop. I mean,
26 for Lux.
All right, he's 26, and we've been touting this guy for how long?
Couple of years. I forget who the big
trade. Couple of years.
I forget who the big trade was. They could have got someone, but they wouldn't give up Lux. I forget who it was. A couple of years ago, they wanted to get rid of him. They're like, "Oh, we lose Seager. It's okay. We got him."
I will say this: when we do at the end of right before our last show, before we skedaddle, there's a split squad game on the 22nd. It's either the Reds or the White Sox. I don't know which one we're going to be on before, but we will be doing our who's got the most pressure this year. I'm telling you right now, it will not be the Dodgers for me. I think you're kidding yourself. I don't think the Dodgers, it's a machine that right now, if you own the team, you've got a massive $300-something million television contract. You're going to get 3.8 million fans. You're just printing money. But they haven't won the World Series. Yeah. Okay. But we're in business to make a lot of money, and they make a lot of money, and they're going to be successful. They're going to be in the world. They're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to have a chance. The only thing that can be a major disappointment is if they don't make the playoffs, and they're going to make the playoffs. The one guy you could say has the pressure is Dave Roberts.
Correct.
Now, if they go in the first round and get bounced out again like they did against the D-backs, well, then he could lose his job. But Rome's not collapsing. This is a machine that's not changing anytime soon. There's not. Who's the big pressure for? Let me tell you something. The baseball media has gotten to be so small, it's unbelievable. When we've got the only place you're getting previews is a cable network that a lot of people can't even see. I love MLB Network. I'm an MLB Network junkie. I watch it every day. But I'm a realist. I'm a realist about our show. I'm a realist about all our shows. This is not like the NFL. You lose and then all of a sudden Stephen A. Smith and that's not happening with the LA Times. It's not you just don't have that you may have it in New York, but you get outside of New York, where's the pressure? Who's coming after you? Because before you know it, when you lose in the playoffs, everybody's talking NFL anyway.
We're talking NFL now.
So what? Ken Rosenthal? I mean, so I don't see the Dodgers as a team that has a ton of pressure. All right, who's our next guest?
Not Johnny. Told Johnny.
Open up the bookie shop, baby. Let's go. I would have a cigar. You may have a cigarette. You may have a cocktail. Cigarette. I mean, come on. When's the last time you smoked a cigarette?
You want the truth? Never touched a cigarette.
You've never smoked a cigarette?
Both my parents smoked cigarettes, and I refuse. And half my family passed from lung cancer. I refuse to do it.
You've never had a cigarette?
Never had a cigarette. Cigars, yes. Cigarette, no.
You're at a dip?
Yes. Pouches and regular dip.
All right. No cigarettes. Not one.
Nope.
Not one. You never had one.
Nope. Never found the appeal with it.
All right.
I'm not one of those people who gets drunk and then goes, I got to get a pack of cigs or darts or whatever.
I said one. Like one.
No.
You tried a cigarette.
Couldn't take a heater like smoking Jim.
So you've had more marriages than you've had cigarettes.
Correct. Double as many cigarettes.
Okay. All right. All right. The A's. They have the A's at 57.5. The win total. I'm going to tell you right now, I still have my people down in the desert all love this. They all love the over of the A's. Like it or not, trolls, they like it. I know a lot of people were betting it. MLB Network stopped by. BK and Chris Young, correct?
Correct.
Do you have the
yeah, let me grab it.
Do you have to get rid of the
bookie
shop?
Yeah.
It's all right. We're in the bookie shop. Casino, cocktails, everybody. Smoke's going. What are we doing tonight? We hitting a steakhouse? Do we hit a steakhouse?
Ruth, what's it? Ruth Chris. There's a big one in Vegas. There's a couple.
Okay, first of all, you go to Vegas. Ruth, you are a Vegas rookie. You have some of the greatest restaurants in the world in Vegas, and you bring up a chain.
I've been to the Win. The one that was a nice one.
Vegas has some of the greatest restaurants in the world.
What was the one we went to? We went to that real nice restaurant that one night.
We went to the
Emeralds
it was a Cajun place in MGM. All right. Who are you going to do first?
They're together.
They're together.
Yeah.
So here is MLB Network doing the A's projections. Remember, when you're listening to this, the over-under right now, 50. It's actually crept up a little bit because people have actually bet it. 57.5. BK, CY, what you got?
All right, fearless prediction time. And we can predict for the future that I think the A's will win in the near future. As for this year, Chris, I'll go with the Pacoda projections.
Okay.
I've got, to be realistic, I think they might be a little bit better, but it's a 97-loss season. I think they're just gonna lose a lot of games this year. It's going to happen. I think the future is bright for them. Eventually, once they get a little more money, once David Forst can get back into it. At this point, I think it's nice young players and a lot of losses.
I'm going the more optimistic route. BK.
Okay, good.
They won 50 games last year. I have them making a huge jump this season, all the way to 68 wins. I think an 18-game jump is significant in my opinion. I think with these young players that they have, a little more attention to detail, a little less selfishness. Guys aren't out there playing just for themselves. They're out there playing for the team. It's going to make a huge difference this year.
So BK 65, Pacoto was 65, Chris Young, CY 68.
That's flying by the over.
Yes.
Flying by. I mean, you're cruising.
What, it started at 55 and a half? Is that what I think?
I thought it started 50. I thought it was 55. May have been 55 and a half. It's been bet up. Sharps have taken the A's. So troll all you want on X. The Sharps are taking the over. Now, I will say once again, if you ever are under 500, it is not a good season. You can never say being under 500 is good. You can't. You can't. Just but you can say the road to success is what?
In our future?
Always under construction. You can see positives. You can take positives. But until you're fight, you got to win more than you lose. I mean, that's just. But 65, that's a 15-game improvement. 68, that's an 18-game improvement. I have a certain bet with another Bay Area media member that you all know so well that he got a little lippy in the dugout at spring training. So I threw it out there, and he took it. 70 wins. I have nothing to lose on this. If they lose anything over 50 is an improvement. They win 65, we're all going to go, hey, they want to improve. But if we get to that 70 mark, I am so going to throw it in this guy's face. It's going to be unbelievable.
I think Fangraphs has us at 73.
And it's not money, it's a dinner bet.
Yeah, Fangraphs has us at 73, well, they did when they initially released it. So, I mean, you're not wide off of what Fangraphs thinks. Pacoto, I know 65.
Can I tell you why? I'm going to tell you why from my front. This is not from my heart. This is not from. I'm not looking through green and gold glasses. All right, you're a homer. No, I'm just going to tell you. Remember, when you're gambling, you have to realize 50 wins last year was so bad. This is not the same group. You can't base it off last year. It's not the same group that started the season. It's different. So just knowing that, if you give me one more win a month, one more. Remember, we're playing percentages. This is what Cody always struggles with his gambling. He bets with his opinion and his heart. You got to bet percentages. Are you telling me this group of A's versus last year's group that only won 50 can win one more game a month?
I think they can, yes.
I'm only asking for one.
Yeah, I think they can, yes.
So I get one win in April, one win in May, one win in June, one in July, one in September, one in August, in September. That's 6.
That's right. You're up to 56.
I'm now at 56. So you're trying to tell me if I just get one more win than last year's team a month, just one a month, I'm at 56. Now, somewhere in that 6 months, you find me 2 more wins, I have your over at 58 wins. I haven't talked about a player. I haven't talked about any data. This is just playing percent. The percentages are the A's will win one more game a month than last year. That puts you at 56, and somehow I get a wild you-know-what up my butt and win 2 more after that, I'm at 58 wins, and I'm cashing that ticket. You want to cash the ticket. That's what you want to do in sports investing, as we like to call it. A's fans, I'm telling you right now, I would bet the over.
I'm with you. I think I mean, I said that. We both said as soon as we saw the number, like, that's very low. And there's no way this
MLB Network's going there. They're acting like 65 is low because they don't. BK is, there's two types of analytics people. There are analytics people who are out there, and I'm not talking about people who actually get paid to do it. I'm talking about fans. There's two types of analytics people. Guys who are being nerds on Twitter and X, and guys who are out there actually putting money out there and winning money and gambling. And the gambling guys are the guys that matter because they're not about opinion. They're about actual making money. The rest of the guys that want to fight each other on who's smarter and who uses data better, well, sorry, my friend, that's just fantasy baseball. And if you're not putting money on it, it's just dumb opinion. The real opinion is when you put your money where your mouth is, as my father used to say. And I think this is a very good bet. And MLB Network guys are they're throwing it out there like, oh, it's just going to be 65. BK doesn't know what he's saying. BK, you're flying by the over.
Yeah, 15 over. Or, sorry, 15 from last year. So you're 10, what was it, 57? So
57 and a half right now.
So you're 6.5 or whatever it is, 7.5 over.
All right, let's go to some other teams here. Dodgers, 104.5. Do you think they like it or dislike it? Over, under?
I think under.
They like the under.
Pacoda has them at 101.
Dodgers are loaded. It's just that I've already covered my concerns with my rotation, and it's incredibly difficult to win 105 games in a season. In the wild card era, do you know how many teams have won 105? That's 1995 till now. Well, it started in 94, but right? Started in 94, but we had the lockout.
Yeah.
The lockout.
8 teams. Is that low?
Only 11 teams have won at least 105 in a season. If you want to argue the Dodgers are one of the top 10 teams in the wild card era, that's fine. I just can't see it. This team getting to 105. You have to win 105 to cash the ticket. That's a lot. You've got to be, you really have to be consistent month to month to month. To win 100 games, you can't have an off month. You can't really have a bad 2 weeks. You got to be pretty damn consistent. I like the under there also.
And there's people, for some reason, I'm not saying they're wrong. There are people that
the
think
heater on.
It's off now.
Yeah, it's a little
they're
toasty in the old road studio.
There are people out there who think that the Braves are actually a better team than the Dodgers. And right now, Pacoda actually has the Braves they're both projected to be 100-win teams, but they have the Braves at 100.7 and the Dodgers at 100.6. So they're saying the Braves are going to be better than the Dodgers. But I think 105 is a lot of wins to try to count on if you're trying to win money, and that's I don't know if the Dodgers can do it.
I would almost be with the Braves too, right? Wouldn't you be with the Braves?
Yeah.
Like, make them prove that they can win that many games.
Plus, you don't know what's going on with their best player either, so that factors into their win-loss total.
And everybody is projecting Ronald Acuna doesn't have the same type of year, that our buddy Matt Olson doesn't have the same type of year. So if everybody just doesn't have a monster year, all of a sudden now you could see the under there. I didn't like this one. This one gave me the heebie-jeebies. Astros 92, they like the over. Astros won 90 games last year despite their rotation being ravaged by injuries and underperformance. Yordan Alvarez he only played in 114 games. Young guy. Altuve just played 90. He was hurt before the season, broken bone, not a big deal. They were a pathetic 39-42 at home.
That was very surprising to see that. They're usually a very good team at home.
But 51-30 on the road.
If you somehow flip that and then add 3 more wins, you can easily get to 95 for the over.
So they like the over, and I hate the Astros. So I can wish nothing but under and bad vibes, and hopefully it just all collapses. At some point, it's got to collapse.
No Verlander to start the year.
At some point, the baseball gods have to rain down on them. They have to rain down on the evil of the Astros. I don't know when it is, but I'll be there waiting for the demise. And when the day I can get back on X and put #Lastros will be one of the greatest days of my life. The New York Yankees. Everybody loves the Yankees. The Bronx Bombers. 93.5.
Under.
They say the under. And this is before Garrett Cole went down.
Yeah. 1 to 2 months he's going to be out. John Heyman had that earlier. Going to go see Dr. Neil Altrosh for second opinion or whatever it is, or appointment. So 1 to 2 months, so you're looking at maybe June he could be back for the Yanks. For a pitching staff that's already not, I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. And, you got Snell and those guys out there still they could look at. But, yeah, not great. And that's why I think I was going to take the under on them even with Cole.
Remember, they won 82 games last year.
Yeah.
The year before, 99. They won 82.
They were fourth in the division last year, right? Only the Red Sox were worse.
Yeah. And the Red Sox, actually, they were flip-flopping back and forth for last place.
Yeah.
So, want everybody to remember, there's people who are picking them to win the whole thing and win the American League. This might be a great time to cash in again on a Yankees under. I mean, when you have no pitching, it's hard to win 90. They got to win 94 games. Does this Yankee team and Juan Soto walking a lot, does that get you to and Verdugo's got a haircut, that gets you to 90, that gets you to 94 wins?
No. Plus, they were talking about how Giancarlo Stanton's in the best shape of his career and he's barely hitting in spring training.
Rizzo's healthy, though, hitting well. It doesn't matter.
Well, the big question for them is, besides their pitching, is will Anthony Volpe finally take that leap that everyone thinks he's going to become the next Jeter?
You think that's the big question?
Well, I mean, it's a big one for them, besides their pitching.
No, it's not. Rodon is their biggest question.
Yeah. Well,
Rodon, he's paid to be ace-like. Volpe could hit whatever he hits and play short. Rodon now has to take the mantle of Garrett Cole. That's what he's paid to do.
Right now, their projected rotation.
Marcus Stroman, you're relying on Marcus Stroman?
Their projected rotation.
And you're worried about Volpe?
Well, I said aside from pitching. Rodon, Stroman, Clark Schmidt, Nestor Cortez, Clayton Beeter are their projected 5 starters right now for the Yankees. They always have a good bullpen, but can their starters get innings and win games for them? We'll see, because Rodon was awful last year.
Going under on Yanks. Sports investing, we're trying to make you money. You need a little extra money for summer. Actually, this is a little Christmas money, because this will pay off in October. You need a little Christmas money. You make the bet now, you cash in October, you save it for Christmas, or maybe you're buying a nice big turkey and a lot of gravy for Thanksgiving. We're making you money here. 2 I think you're going to like. Rays 84.5. You're telling me your Rays, I got to only win 85 games to cash my ticket?
Had a little bit of a roadblock. Now Taj Bradley's hurt, but I still like the over on them.
What's hurt? It's not his elbow.
Yeah, what was it? Pec strain or pectoral thing.
Come on.
He's not going to.
Does it matter what the names are on the back of the jersey when it comes to the Rays?
No, they'll be fine. I'll take the over on them.
Let's see. What do they got here for this? Truth be told, I was ready to just ignore them in this exercise this season because I'm absolutely done taking their under. You keep getting burned. You still don't want to believe. I found myself more and more convinced that the Rays again will be a major factor in the AL. The offense will be very similar to last season, which was pretty good. And the organization, they just find a way to do the number one thing to do in all of baseball: run prevention. Run prevention. I know when the season starts. Okay, that's what I'm good. We're good. No more. I know when the season starts, we'll have our post-game show, and we'll have the callers, and the callers want to fall into the trap, and all callers care about is offense. How do you win baseball games? Run prevention. pitching and defense. If you pitch and play defense, you've got a chance. Offense can come and go. But if you don't have pitching and defense and you have to outslug people night after night after night, it's a bad remedy. The Rays have been really, really good. The Brewers have been really, really good. The Cubs were really, really good last year. Just how do we play solid defense and pitch every single game? So finally, the over. All you got to do is win 85. You doubt the Rays or you like it?
Oh, I'm taking the over.
The other, welcome back to our friend Cody Bellinger. It was so hilarious being at the winter meetings in Nashville. We were right next to the television people for the Chicago Cubs. Cody Bellinger's talking about a $200 million contract. They waited it out. They played poker. And your big loser, Scott Boras, he is back. They got the Cubs. They're at the same number as the Rays at 84.5. Just got to win 85. Cubs were a good team last year in a division that, let's face it, isn't great. Competitive, but isn't great. So do you like the Cubbies at 85 wins?
The Chocolate said push, and I think they're going to win 85.
You can't push at 84.5.
So I'll take the over.
That's why there's a hook.
I think 85 is the.
You can't push. You got to pick one.
80. Then I'll take the over.
I'm going to go under. I don't think it's going to go as great. I don't think they're going to do what they did last year. I think this whole Craig Counsell thing's going to be overblown. I don't think the Cubs will have the pitching. They don't have they did improve firepower whatsoever. Bellinger may or may not have the same year he had. I'm going to go under. I think this division is going to be tough. I think your Pirates are going to be better. The Reds are going to be better. The Cardinals are embarrassed from last year. I think they're all going to beat each other up. I think this whole Craig Counsell thing, unless the old Notre Dame Fighting Irish infielder is going to suit up, I'm going to go under on this one. I could see them being right around 500. I'll go under on the Cubs. Yeah. The Southsiders, Northsiders, Eastsiders, Westsiders, wherever the hell they play, that's what I'm going to do. Now, obviously, the South Side is the White Sox and the North Side's the Cubs. Diamondbacks, 84 wins last year, got them in the playoffs. I mean, they've beefed up. They got Jocktober.
And they got
Rodriguez.
Yeah, they got
the lefty.
And they signed I thought they signed.
You're gonna have Fott now, who's got Brandon Fott, who a lot of people didn't know, came up, didn't pitch all that well. They sent him back down. He ended up being very good for them late down the stretch. And you mix that with Kelly and you mix that with Gallen. Corbin Carroll, I mean, is dynamic as dynamic gets. Eduardo Rodriguez comes over from the Tiger. Remember, he didn't want to leave Detroit because of his family. So he didn't want to leave Detroit and be traded to the Dodgers to get into the playoff race because he didn't want to do that to his family. And then all of a sudden now he's a D-back and he's fine with it. A couple months later.
Yeah. It's they also got Eugenio Suarez too. So,
yes, from the Mariners.
Yeah, so they got a power bat there, and I like the over on them.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, they won 84, went to the World Series last year.
I mean, you're proving what, but 84.5, giving you the hook there. You're just saying, well, they win 85. Yeah, I like it. Here's one that I thought, this is the big stinger. Like, what has happened to this franchise? A proud franchise. In my lifetime, they've always been good. They've now won 3 World Series. But in my lifetime, they've been to they're in the World Series in 86. They've always had a lot of good teams. They've always had good players. Boston Red Sox have not gone on a run where they have just been bad for a long time in my lifetime. Now, I could be wrong. I'll look it up.
Okay.
But the Boston Red Sox, chew on this, 70 27.5. The Boston Red Sox and Lucas Giolito, he's gone.
They traded Chris Sale, who's looked good in camp for the Braves. I'll take the under. I'll take the under on the Red Sox. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I like Brian Bayo, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to be the guy that's going to win you a ton of games as a starting pitcher this year. He was decent last year for them, but I don't know if they had the pitching. That's why, like, they talked about getting Jordan Montgomery. They had a Zoom call with them, but nothing's come to. This is a team that used to spend money and sign a lot of people, and now they're barely. I mean, they're not spending money on anyone.
I'm going to take you all the way back to 1967. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1967. This is their win totals from 1967 to today to prove what I'm talking about, that the Boston Red Sox have not had – obviously, I was not born in 67. I was not alive yet. My brother wasn't even alive yet. But this is how they have been, and this is their runs, starting in 67, 92, 86, 87, 87, 85, 85, 89, 84, 95, 83, 97, 99, 91, 83. Strike year, they won 59. They were over 500. Remember, 81 was the strike. Then they went 89, 78, a bad year. Then they go 86, 81, 95, 87, bad year at 78. Then they go 89, 83, 88, 84, a bad year at 73. Then they go 80 and 82, not great. 94, strike short, and we're under 500. But then they come back 86, 85, 92, 94, 85, 82, 93, 95, 98, 95, 86, 96, 95, 95 again, 89, 90. They suck in 12 at 69 and 93, but come back the next year, 97 and 65 to 71, 78. Then they come back, 93 wins, 93 wins again at the year after that. And then they won 108 in 2018. Then they won 84 after that. After COVID, they went 92 wins. I mean, that's from 1967. I read you all their win totals. There's just a blip of certain seasons where they were under 500. I don't know if anybody has been more. I mean, we would have to look since 1967. Has anyone been more consistent at winning baseball games than the Boston Red Sox?
Probably. I don't know if anyone's close. I mean, I know like recently the Yankees have gone like 30 straight seasons without a losing record, but they were bad. There were some bad years in there mixed in between. Cardinals are usually historically pretty good, but I don't know what their success has been all the way back to 67.
That's basically over 500 every single year except a couple of years. And the last 2 years, they've been 78 and 84. 78 and 84. You're the Boston Red Sox. You charge, it used to be the most, I think they're at least still top 3 tickets in baseball. You've got the Nesson money. The Boston Red Sox every single year can guarantee that they're going to have close to 3. I mean, their attendance is different because their ballpark isn't as big, but they're always going to have 2 point, almost 3. I'm cramming people in there. They do well for themselves. I mean, 78 and 84 the last 2 years. You're the Boston Red Sox. All those years dating back to 67, where you're constantly competitive, you're constantly good, you're constantly going for it. And they got you now at 77.5. So they're basically saying, can the Boston Red Sox win one more game than they did last year? One more.
I mean, even if you look at the moves they made in the offseason, they brought in Liam Hendricks, who we love Liam, but he's hurt, so he's not going to be pitching this year. You bring in guys like C.J. Cron, and the Tyler O'Neill trade might work out for them, but that's it. That's all they did. And then they gave Bayo that extension, and that was it. I mean, that's all the Red Sox have done.
Oh, Lucas Giolito.
Oh, gee, well, yeah. I keep forgetting about him signing because he signed so early in the process. I forgot.
It was what? Ben, it's only like 1 year, $18 million.
It was 2 for something, but I can't remember if there might have been an option. I don't know. And then
basically a 1 year deal.
The biggest move they made this offseason, they made Craig Breslow the president or the chief baseball officer.
So 78 and 84, 2 straight years, over and under 77.5. Where are you going? This is going to put you at the bottom of the American League East.
I'm taking the under on them.
Wow.
I mean, I like some of the guys in their lineup. I mean, I think Tyler O'Neill could have a good year for them. I like Tristan Casas, their first baseman.
3 straight years. When's the last time the Red Sox have been 3 straight years?
There was a couple of years you mentioned in there, like in the last 10 or 15 years where there was 2
Not
years.
3 straight
no,
years.
It was 2, I think.
3 straight years under 500.
It's been a long time.
You'd have to go back to 94, 93, 92. They went 73 and 89, 80 and 82, and then the strike year 50, the lockout. The owner's lock. It was the strike? Was it lockout or strike?
I thought wasn't it a strike?
It was a lockout. It was the owners that killed the World Series.
It's saying baseball strike.
I know, but but it depends who called it.
The owners thought they could impose a salary cap and break the union. So maybe it was the owners. I don't know. I wasn't very old.
The work stoppage. That's the thing we were talking about with Farron yesterday. Like, everybody believes it can't happen and be bad. It's like the other sports, that's for a whole nother show. So it's been since the 90s when I was in college, the Red Sox went 3 straight years under 500. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, I keep reading. It looks like it might have been the owners.
Then that would be a lockout. You can call it a strike, but a strike is the worker strikes. The owner locks out.
Yeah, on December 31st,
but strike sounds better.
December 31st, 93, Major League Baseball's collective bargaining agreement ran out with no new agreement yet signed.
So who walked first?
I
don't remember.
Yeah, the commissioner said if serious negotiations between the players and owners did not begin soon, the players could go on strike in September of that year, threatening the postseason.
Okay, so maybe it was the players. So if it's the players' strike.
Yeah, I'd have to do more research on it.
Yeah, then it has to be a strike, then the players. Yeah, this is something that I think Cody and I agree on, and a lot of the old guard do not. Would you say that is correct?
Yes.
And like Mike Farron yesterday, great host for Sirius XM, he's probably the old guard. Baseball just does not like change. It just does not. And it's affected the sport dramatically. Baseball years ago was a sport of change. Jackie Robinson, who grounded out to my grandfather in his first at-bat. My grandfather was a part of Jackie Robinson history. Baseball was about change. And then all of us, then I don't know when, it was well before we were born, just no change. But the sport has changed over the years, right? The leagues were different. They both had their own presidents. We figured that out. I mean, we still are archaic with the 2 different leagues. The other sports don't do that. Like, yeah, the West is in the West and the East is in the East. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still get that. Everybody plays each other, though. They don't have to call it interleague play. I mean, football fans, all the people going to be watching today are probably Niner fans, some Raider fans. If the Niners are taking on, I don't know, give me an AFC team.
The Steelers.
Niners are taking on the Steelers on Sunday. And let's say it's a broadcast on CBS, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Welcome to this interleague matchup. These guys never. No, that's ridiculous. Like, football fans would be like, what did he just say? What the hell's he talking about? That
I thought you were going to go full Romo and give me a Romo impression.
That's like AFL, NFL stuff. Like, what? No, we still do that. We call it interleague play. How archaic is that?
Even with a balanced schedule.
It's archaic. The Golden State Warriors are taking on the New York Knicks. Is that an interleague matchup? No, the Warriors are in the West because, California's in the West and Knicks are in the East. So they're in the East. Shocker. Right? They figured it out over the years. We figured it out in football for the most part. Right? It's been, they still have Dallas in the East, which is ridiculous. And you still have, the Broncos and the Chiefs in the West. I get, but for the most part, we've kind of figured it out. The Falcons and the Saints are no longer in the West in football. The Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves, and they're not in the West anymore in baseball. Like, you can figure it out. But the whole salary cap thing, you're essentially allowing the players and the agents to control your sport. So it essentially is, it's this simple. The owners are always going to fight, and then they'll give up a little, and then the players will give up a little to keep the system that's still what it is, because no one wants to just scrap it and go new. And the players threaten. That's my opinion. They should have gone full, and you canceled the World Series. You brought the scabs in. You should have broke the players' union the same way football did and basically basketball. And you have a salary cap, and your sport's better. But like Mike Farron said yesterday, well, the owners should make money. They're the owners. That's what owning a business is. You should make money. And I could make the case that just about every single player that puts on a baseball uniform is really not worth that much money. How many players are really worth that much? And I'm pro player, but also I understand business, and people aren't paying to watch the majority of these guys play. You're paying to watch the sport. People aren't, this isn't like I've got to go. I remember Patriots were coming to town. People wanted to see Tom Brady. People wanted to see Peyton Manning. People wanted to see LaDainian Tomlinson. You wanted to see Michael Jordan. You wanted to see Bird, Magic, LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal. I can't wait. I got to go see Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody is paying. No one is saying, who's on the Mariners? I got to go watch him play. No offense, Julio. There are very few players in baseball that people are saying, grab the family, let's go. No, you're going for the experience. And from a television standpoint, our value is basically as a content provider. These guys aren't worth, who's worth money? Shohei Ohtani. All right. 1. Aaron Judge. Okay. 2. How many guys in this league are people saying they come to town, I'm going, and I need to spend the money? Maybe Trout at one point. Like, how many guys are there?
Those are 3 I was thinking of. There's probably no pitchers. I mean, Verlander, because
historic.
Yeah,
Kershaw, historic.
Yeah.
There's a few, but there's not a lot.
As you said it yesterday, I like him. You like him. I mean, we like his future for the sport, but I don't know if I'm going out of my way I'm taking my employee hat off and putting fan
you're
hat
going to
on.
be in traffic. It's a 7:00 start.
Am I coming?
6:40 start. You're going to be in traffic. You got to pay for parking. You got to pay for tickets. You're buying beers. You're buying sausages, hot dogs, popcorn. Who makes you want to go through that whole thing just because they're playing tonight?
I was going to say, I'm not going out of my way to see Bobby Witt Jr. I think he's a great player, but I don't think I'm going out of my way to now. If you're talking about, hey, this is a bad example because I'm going to go to hockey, but if Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby's coming to play in San Jose, I'm going to go watch them play because they're all-time historic players, where Bobby Witt Jr. is not there yet. I'm not going to see him play. And then football, obviously, yes, I'm going to go see whoever because it's football. And there's a drop. I'm going to go see Patrick Mahomes play. Yeah. Shocker.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain players, they show up, you want to watch play. Back in the day, Jerry Rice is showing up. He's historic. Montana, historic. You want to watch him play.
Just like on the road, people go to watch Steph Curry play.
No doubt.
People go to watch LeBron. Doubt. That's why the whole they kind of fixed the load management thing. Like, it was such a joke that you're a young kid and you're in Memphis, you want to see Steph Curry or LeBron, and they're not playing because of load management.
Well, and that's the thing, like the NBA, everybody just knows of max contracts. We don't care what the number is.
Yeah.
Give them the max contract and you move on. Great. The stars still get paid, but you limit what they can make. And then as Boris uses this incorrectly, Boris likes to say the tide raises all boats. Right?
Yeah.
The tide raises all boats. So his theory of that, which I would debate him. Now, he's been in the game a lot longer than me. He's richer than I am. He may tell me I'm a fool, but you're trying to sell how the tide raises all boats is by saying, if we keep getting players to make more money, the guys below, we can get them more money because we're comparing them to the top guys. That's the business theory. Well, if he makes that, then my guy's got to be worth this. Versus my definition, I think what really would be the tide raises all seas is if you capped those guys. If you cap those guys, let's just say a number is $300 million, your payroll. If you capped those players from making crazy amount of money that they should make because they're not worth it, and if you had a ceiling and a floor, if you made every team spend $150 million and you capped the stars, that means you'd have to spend all that extra money on everybody else, and that's where the tide raises all boats. A salary cap would make everybody, not the stars, but it would make everybody else, the rest of your 26-man roster, a lot more money.
That's why the NBA, like you hear about the max contracts, as you mentioned, but there's guys that are like the eighth man on the bench making X amount of dollars because it's capped on how much. Steph Curry is going to make like $58 million or close to 60 his last year, but the guy that's eighth on the bench who just signed a contract is still making a decent amount of money because of how and the TV contract's huge in the NBA, but that plays a big part in it. That's why they're able to pay all this money for guys. We hear max contract and we're going, hey man, Draymond Green's getting paid $130 million. No, they don't care. They know he has a 4-year deal. It's a max deal.
No one knows.
Well, it's not a max deal.
No one even knows the actual time. Then no one cares. You just got a max deal. They move on. Football. Tom Brady was never the highest paid quarterback.
No, ever.
Most of the guys in the NFL, they throw out these funny numbers. He just signed for 6 years, but you know that money's not guaranteed. The only thing guaranteed is the signing bonus. That's it. They can cut you. So it's like the caps work. And you try and tell all these players, guys, if they made all 30 teams spend at least $150 million. So once again, you'd have a ceiling, which Boris hates because then he can't get his top clients crazy money. But if you had a floor to go with it, you have to spend that money. That's what makes the NFL brilliant, is that the TV money covers the salaries. You have to spend. So if everybody had to spend 150, we had more. How many teams last year didn't spend 100 million
in baseball?
Yeah, it was like
8 or
no, it was like 11 or 12.
Yeah,
it was more. Almost half the sport opening day payroll wasn't 100 million. I've now taken your floor to 150. That might be aggressive. 120. So those 11 teams all would have had to spend 120 million. Everybody in the game just made more money. But you're limiting what Mookie Betts and Mike Trout and now Juan Soto. You're limiting the unreal amount of money. But everybody else would just, that is really to me the definition of the tide raises all boats. Not saying, well, if Aaron Judge got this, my lesser player, but he's still a good player, should get this.
Yeah, like the one thing about I in a hypothetical world, if this ever happened, the one thing I'd love to see is when your team's hitting the cap, like, okay, the Chiefs are getting close to hitting the cap. Patrick Mahomes restructured his deal to open up like $22 million worth of space because he's getting like $500 million. But would baseball players be open to doing that?
No,
I mean, yeah.
They are selfish. Baseball players do not care about the city they play in. Do not buy that one bit. Baseball players say they love their teammates. We have raised a culture of selfish people when it comes to baseball players. Like, they have wealth that is, I mean, it's generational wealth. We just said it the other day. Josh Donaldson had not the longest career and made $172 million. We raised a get every single penny, and then they try and act like that's we love the guys at Foul Territory, but I listen. They're so pro player, and they're so full of it. These guys, in the end, are mercenaries. That's all. Their agents and the players are mercenaries, which I'm fine with. Then let's act like it. I almost would be like, oh, you guys want to be mercenaries? Why don't you guys pay for all the trainers? Why don't you guys play for the massage guy? Why don't you do all of this? Because you're really independent contractors, in many ways. You only get paid during the season. And then we're deferring money to these guys for all these years. I mean, why? I mean, the system could be dramatically different, and it would make the game better, and it would have all these other guys. They talk about, you really care about the young guys? Because the last CBA told you everything you need to know. They bickered and threatened. And in the end, the fact that the top guys can still make all their money, and they just got a little increase for the small guy, they took that. The players took that. Players always want to have the ability to make the top dollar instead of what's best for everybody. What would get and then your negotiations would always be how you move these caps up. But the big time guys don't care about the little guys. That's the other thing. It's kind of the same thing between the owners. The big owners really don't care about the small owners, and the primetime players don't care about the small players. They don't. Like Mike Trout really needs $400-something million. And then this guy only gets $700,000. The same guy playing with Mike Trout. Mike Trout's got a guaranteed contract of $400-something million. And this guy who could be equally of value if Trout's not playing is making almost $800,000. Everybody could make a lot more under a salary cap. You would just be capping these stupid long-term contracts, which, oh, by the way, none of them work out. None of them work out. None of these long-term deals have been good. I mean, Steph Curry's deal was what, 5 years? The NBA and the NFL, they're not giving out 10-year deals. Why? Because it's stupid and it's bad for business, and the cap stops that.
Yeah, all the max deals are like, I think usually.
But yet
5
baseball,
years.
people like Farron. Oh no, baseball. Oh, because the NFL's not doing well in business. That's a flawed system. The NBA's not doing well financially. That's a flawed system.
Like even hockey capped how much a guy makes. Like you can give them like 8 years, but they can only make a certain amount of like up to like a certain amount of money as their total AAV is what they would make. And we're giving guys 8 years, 300 million, 12 years. Hey, best deal out there right now is still the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. He's only making what, $2 million, something like that a year until 10, 12 years from now or whatever it is.
Also, it would get us for the fan base. It's also one of the turnoffs. People when all they hear about money. We're at the winter meetings. No one talks about players. It's money. NFL free agency hits, wham, you know who signs what. No one's remembering who signed what year, what.
All those deals become official today at 1:00. So the legal tampering period ends, free agency officially begins, and all deals become official at 1:00 our time.
But no, let's have a system where we just have guys linger in free agency, and it's starting to happen.
Blake Snell is still available. He won the Cy Young last year.
Dude, Manny Machado and Bryce Harper signed in spring training.
Yeah, I keep looking to see if anything happens.
You're not winning the offseason anymore. You're being lapped. These other sports have figured out a way to stay relevant for longer period of times during the year. So basketball is taking your thunder early in your season, and football's taking your thunder at the end of your season. And then you go into the offseason, and the only people who God bless all of you who are going to watch this today. God bless the people that watch this at the winter meetings. God bless the people that watch MLB Network. But that's who's following. I mean, The Athletic, we all were so jazzed about The Athletic. They're not even covering half the teams this year. Like they promised. They promised full coverage, all team. Nope. Baseball's got to figure out a way to be relevant for 12 months out of the year.
Yeah, like we had a major chance last year to stay relevant for an entire calendar year with everything with Ohtani. And it just, I mean, there was a lot of talk about it, but then, the injury, and then the Angels weren't very good. So, like, that kind of ruined all of it. Where in the NBA, it's like 3 games in, it's like Kevin Durant might opt out. Durant might opt out.
The Ohtani free agency was such a letdown for the business. It was you had such a chance, and it was a total letdown. And we keep using Farron. We love Farron. But Farron yesterday, I host a talk show all year. The NFL doesn't care about some talk show. The NFL cares about always having moments during the year that gets everybody jacked up. Combine, free agency, draft. They always have appointment viewing going on.
OTAs.
OTAs are starting. What?
Mini camp.
What? Right? They've got appointment viewing. They suck you in for 12 months. They're always sucking you back in. Just when you think, I'm worried about the Warriors now. Oh, the NFL got me. The Niners are doing this, and it sucks me back in. Well, it doesn't suck me back in.
Happy trails, Jimmy Garoppolo, by the way. And Hunter Renfrow. Raiders cutting cap to get better.
Hey, got a new quarterback.
Gardner Minshew.
You can bring your stupid Halloween costume back. Huh?
Him and there was a good, I forget, it was him.
Are you going to go a Washington State version?
Yeah, probably. That's the best one. Actually, he's not a bad quarterback. He doesn't throw picks.
He's serviceable.
Yes. And he's probably better than the guy they have now. No offense to Raider fans. I think he's probably better than Aiden O'Connell.
I agree.
I mean, he let
far more experienced.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts had a win.
He had a pretty decent year last year.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's not throwing for 5,000 yards and put up 40 touchdowns, but he doesn't turn the ball over.
But you're also not having to pay those prices.
Exactly.
It's tough to get that guy. It really is tough to get that guy. Everything we talk about, we're just trying to make baseball better. We're trying to make it better. And it needs to start figuring out for itself, for its long-term survival. Because all of a sudden, like, everybody got hit with this, oh boy, cable's dying. What? And now everybody's really starting to understand what we've been talking about, why we created A's Cast. Terrestrial radio is not doing well. Cable television is not doing well. How we will provide our games to you and provide all of our coverage is changing year by year. I can't even tell you what it will look like in 5 years. But that's why we created this, because we knew there was change coming. All righty. Coming up next, we head to the Valley of the Sun. Where is Johnny today?
We're playing the Padres. So is that Peoria? What are they playing?
They share it with the Mariners.
Yeah, so isn't that Peoria? That's where they'll be.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Because Goodyear is Cincinnati and
Cleveland.
Camelback is White Sox, Dodgers. Peoria, which is way out there.
Yeah. Salt River Fields is what? Diamondbacks, Rockies?
To Peoria?
I've been there. Been to their ballpark.
Like if you said like, yeah, we're going to spring training. This is awesome. Wait, we got to go to Peoria?
As the A's take on the Padres and their potential lineup of all shortstops.
Like all the fun things to do in Arizona are really far from Peoria.
Yeah, well.
Like when you think of like, oh, I want to go to this restaurant and I want to go to these bars and I want to go to these golf courses. It's none of it's Peoria. How long? Because Johnny is staying at, I will not tell you the location because I know people would be flocking to find him. But Johnny is not far from the airport. Phoenix. Great airport. How long does it take from Johnny to get from the airport where you would arrive as a Mariner or a Padre fan? How long does it take you to get from the airport to their facility? Rangers and Royals are way out there too. Johnny D. He doesn't know he's about to be tested. He has no idea. Is he? I
don't know. I don't have it open.
Johnny D. Next. Friars and A's today here on A's Cast.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, join your team this spring in Mesa. With nonstop flights direct from Oakland, there's never been a better time to head to the Southwest. Surrounded by the stunning Sonoran Desert, spring training fans know why Arizona is the perfect spring break escape. Miles of trails, shoreline, and sunshine combine for an unforgettable Arizona adventure. There's simply no shortage of things to do, see, and discover in Mesa. Get your visitor's guide at visitmesa.com.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found you.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Zach Geloff joined Towny on A's Cast Live and discussed his goals for spring training.
I think just keep building on what I've done and just my routines and sticking to it. I think, being on the field is super important. That's the only way you can, add to the team. So for me, it's just going to be keep building on the routines that I think I found that worked well for me last year. Keep building on them and, staying super competitive and try to have that winning, baseball player mentality every day.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop at Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Nestled in the hills of San Jose, minutes from Silicon Valley, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club offers 27 holes of championship golf, a first-class pro shop, practice facility, and great food in the grill. This time of year also means family and business get-togethers. Let the folks at Cinnabar Hills make your event unforgettable while enjoying their award-winning venue. It's all there for you: championship golf, a great space for any events, and incredible food. See it all at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Nick Allen joined Towny on A's Cast Live and discussed the conversation he had with his teammates regarding 2024.
Rooker came to Geloff and I a little bit, last year, but he was just like, we can't do this again. We got to find a way to really work our, tails off to get better and put us in a better position. And then, Zach and I always talk about, we were like, sink or swim, especially in our division, so we got to find a way to make it happen. Else, it doesn't happen. So that's just I think that's hopefully going to be our motto, but we just got to obviously take it day by day and just keep getting better.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
If you're looking for the latest green and gold gear for the 2023 season, then look no further than athletics.com/shop for your officially licensed gear. That's athletics.com/shop.
Streaming from the studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All righty, let's get Johnny D in here. Johnny, how are you?
Fantastic. Now, how are you?
All right. How long did it take you to get? Because I told everybody Peoria's way out there, right? So you're at a hotel right by Sky Harbor, the great airport there in Phoenix. So how long, just to give people an idea, if you're like a Mariner fan or a Padre fan, you fly in. How long did it take you to get from your hotel by the airport to Peoria?
Yeah, well, I went Hohokam first because we go there to get, talk to coaches and players and get the Kotsay sound and all that. So then I went from there to Peoria, which took about 45 minutes, about 45. Yeah.
That's longer than I thought.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a haul, but it's not bad. It's not a bad drive at all. Yeah, no, I had my Bob Marley music. I was fine. I had my
That's
Marley.
what I say, like when they're selling you spring training for the Mariners and the Padres, it's like there's nothing to do in Peoria.
How about Surprise? Surprise is even further. Surprise like an hour 5 or whatever. Let's
face it, the cool part, we found some cool parts in Mesa, and we're going to exploit that next year. But, everybody wants to be in Scottsdale.
Hey, a fan just said they watched A's Cast and went to Mango's and said they loved it.
Mango's, I'm telling you, we have found downtown Mesa, family-owned business right there downtown, traditional, awesome, authentic Mexican food. Mango's, it literally, so I always stay at the Delta Hotel, so it's like down the street from the Delta Hotel. Yeah. It's probably 4 minutes from Fitch Park, 5 minutes from the ballpark.
And I'm still playing for the tie here, Towny. When you left, I immediately lost a few pounds, but I've kind of slowly but surely gained it back. So I hope that if I can break even for spring training, that's a victory.
Oh, no doubt.
Right?
You're on the road for a month and you basically stayed at the same weight. That to me is a win. You got the over. You win the over in that. You're not the under. You win the over on that.
I appreciate that. I think that I've been kind of mixing in the Peloton a little bit at the hotels. That's been helping. So I just play for the tie here. PFFT, play for the tie. PFTT, play for the tie. Yep.
Yeah. I have definitely lost pounds since I last saw you. Just getting up. I think the minute I left you, my metabolism picked up.
I can see that. I that makes sense.
Okay. So we realized that the Dodgers and the A's will not play a weekday game against each other. So we would not have, you and I did a Dodger game against the Athletics, but it was on the weekend.
Yeah.
So we've already done Know Your Friars. I'm looking at the schedule. The Dodgers are not on the schedule again. So we did Tim Neverett today just because we try and do every team down in Arizona.
Yeah.
So today, and since they hate each other, the Padres and the Dodgers, we're going to do Know Your Dodgers.
That is a change up. That is an 82 mile an hour straight change that I'm way out in front of it. I'll do the best I can. That's
and by the way, you grew up a Dodger fan. There's high expectations here.
There really are.
This isn't like Know Your Guardians Indians or your Reds you grew up, you live this.
Very nervous right now. I can tell you the switch hitting infield right there, but let's see what we got. Okay, go ahead.
Johnny, you do have a pick to click, right?
A pick to click today? Or you're asking me for my pick to click today?
Well, you had Lane Lears yesterday, and he had a good day.
That's right, he did. My pick to click today is actually third baseman Armando Alvarez, who's had a great spring. He's actually 7 for 16 this spring, and he probably will start in AAA Las Vegas. But he's been a nice surprise this spring. He's played really well. He's going to have another big game today.
Did Kotsay say anything about Nick Allen today?
No, he did not.
Nick Allen's not playing again today, Johnny. And
I think he is resuming baseball activity. I think he'll be back. I don't know when. Yeah.
Well, resuming baseball activity, Johnny. After this weekend, there's a week left.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And let's just say hypotheticals, as Jim Harbaugh would say. If Nick Allen can't go, is Hernaiz your starting shortstop on opening day?
I would say yes. I would say yes. I think he would be, and you'd have Toro at third. I think Hernaiz would be the starting shortstop if in fact Nick cannot go. I think that's a very strong possibility of that, because Aledmus Diaz, I don't think is going to start with complete health either. So I do think that the shortstop would be Hernaiz. I do.
Okay, so I arrive on Friday. We'll get to the bottom of all this, and we'll have answers, because when we come back on Monday, it will be against the D-backs, right? Monday at 1 o'clock. You come back on Saturday. So we'll be down there together, Johnny. We're going to get some answers, and then on Monday we'll be able to.
You're coming in Friday and doing the game Friday. You're a jet setter, man. That's crazy.
Coming in Friday, you and I are doing the spring breakout game, which I'm super excited.
Yep.
We're gonna try and get Ed Sprague on the show tomorrow and break it down. Then we can use some of that in the broadcast. And then I'm doing the game with you. I'm kind of the host for the owners party on Saturday, and then I'm doing the game with you on Sunday, the 17th.
Phenomenal! Can't wait.
Against the Chi Sox.
Wow, here we go. No Tim Anderson.
And let me tell you something: Carlton Fisk and Frank Thomas are not walking through that door.
No, they are not. Neither is Bill Melton. That's right.
Does that mean we're going to play Southside references?
Right.
Oh, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. All right, you ready for Know Your Dodgers?
I am.
Unless you have any more A's news for us.
Let's see. Not really. You know, Stephen Piscotty's in the lineup today for the A's. He's playing right field today for Oakland. So Piscotty came over from minor league camp. So Piscotty gets the start today. So that's kind of exciting. You hear me?
Yeah. We heard you.
You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Scotty and right.
Super excited.
I mean, good for him that he's back. I mean, it'd be cool to see him. Nostalgia. I mean, I would like to see Henry Bolte maybe get that start, but
I would rather see some other guys. But okay. Anything else?
Not really. Just Stripling will be extended, obviously, out. Wood, as you know, worked into the fifth yesterday. So we're getting to that point now, getting to 65, 70, 75 pitches, 80, getting closer. So it's exciting that we're 10 days away from breaking camp, and these guys are looking good.
I've already broke the news that J.P. Sears is the opening day starter.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think over Wood and Blackburn, you think Sears gets the start for the 32 starts and how well he did and he earned that?
I mean, literally, if he's not, I'm going to be shocked. If JP Sears.
Strong possibility of that.
He's the only guy that has a full good year for you last year, and he's been dealing in spring. You don't think he's deserved that?
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying I'm not going to say that's for sure who they're going to start, but I think he deserves it, but you never know, right?
I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
It's like an election. I'm calling the race right now. Early.
Chris Townsend projects.
I'm at the board like I'm at CNN. I'm calling this. I'm calling I'm projecting the state for JP Sears.
Hey, by the way, the great Jenny Kavnar just told me. Say hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Chris, I found where you can get coffee at spring training. I've been listening to all the A's casts, just pounding them through, hours and hours of listening. And I heard you complaining in one of them that you didn't find any coffee.
Well, let me tell you something. Wi-Fi and coffee, it's like trying to find Bigfoot in Arizona.
Here, look, I got you covered. Coffee.
Yeah.
What you do is you call a friend and they bring it for you,
So
bro.
nice.
Come on.
So nice.
That's why she's a mover. She's a shaker. She gets stuff done. I hang out with Johnny, and next thing you know, I'm at like some bad Special K or AM/PM getting coffee that was made like 8 hours ago. See, that's why she's a big league.
know the skill set she has. She got, and by the way, she knows no cream and sugar. She knows coffee black. She gets it.
I got it.
She gets it.
Well, why when I hanging out with you, we got to go around to like the service entrance and we got to sneak in. I talked to these guys last year.
You got to get better company. You got to get better company. You just have to.
Right? You like how Jenny's throwing in the I've been listening? You buying it?
Yes. Honestly,
Literally, like, check my podcast listens. It has been hours. I'm way back at like where did I start? Fantasy camp. I had to hear you talk about Dallas and try to come back and win. I got them all, Chris. I got you throwing the break. I know how you do it. I got you down.
She has you down, bro. She knows.
Can you be honest and tell us what you don't like about Cody in the show?
I love Cody. Cody's my favorite part of the show. Sorry, Chris, you're out. Just kidding. I love you guys together. It's fun.
Cody, what do you think of our set?
Your set's awesome. This is looking good. I usually listen on the podcast, so this is kind of my first glance at it. I like it.
I need one criticism. I can't
do
all
like Colorado State Rams gear to go in there. Let me know.
The Rams.
Same colors.
Yeah. You gotta tell Jenny to get off the mountain. All right, time to get off the mountain, get to sea level, and start doing regular gear. All right.
I can't wait.
This is not Deion Sanders in Colorado. This is the Colorado State.
Whoa.
No
That's
more,
Colorado. That's a different program. We're talking the good guys.
No more Rocktober in the Rockies.
I did hear you guys struggle for that one the other day when I was listening to, and I was like, it's 07.
Hey, I love me some Dan O'Dowd. Dan O'Dowd is like
I heard that. You like it.
love
Put him for a smart conversation. See, don't think I'm not listening. Don't think I'm not
She is religiously listening. I know.
Tell her I'll see her on Saturday. I have to. She and I have to do a Q&A at the owners' party.
That's right.
Oh, I'm prepping for it.
Make sure she's got some questions for me. She wants me to ask her.
Oh, please. Let's ask away.
Yeah, ask away. Got it.
All right, Johnny.
Change up.
This is the most crucial one we have had. You've got Mariners Moose was bad. But I'm telling you, you got no. I mean, even Angels is Orange County. It's Anaheim. It's Disneyland. You didn't grow up there. This is your wheelhouse.
By the way, I got absolutely crushed by my family who are Mariner fans about the Moose thing and about the Big Maple. They were crushing me.
Have you never watched a Mariners game? The Moose is everywhere.
I know. And Rhubarb is a AAA mascot. Rhubarb. It's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
Safeco. You've been to T-Mobile, Safeco, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, we have.
All right. Here we go.
If you don't do well in this, I'll have my sister-in-law, a fellow Laverne alumnus, have you taken off the wall there.
Okay.
All right, Johnny. I am the winningest manager in Dodgers history. This is both LA and Brooklyn.
Walter Alston.
There you go. 2040 wins, Johnny. All right.
Base hit to start out.
I have the most home runs in Dodgers history. This is both.
I have most home runs. Duke Snyder.
Oh, Johnny's on fire.
Johnny.
I have the most steals in Dodgers history.
The most steals, that would be Maury Wills.
Thank you.
Yep. I have the most wins in Dodgers history.
The most wins with the Dodgers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, well, it is Know Your Dodgers.
Well, no, I was going to say because Sutton had him with a bunch of teams. I'm going to say Kershaw.
No, it was Don Sutton. Kershaw's chasing him. 233 wins for old Donnie Sutton. There's another Sutton question.
By the way, that's former Don Sutton, and also
don't spoil it.
And Don Sutton threw at Ray Fosse in an old timers game.
You blew the last question.
Oh, what?
You just blew the last question.
He wouldn't know.
Yeah,
he doesn't know his Fosse history.
Well, no, I was going to say the question was in 1974. I had a home run off Don Sutton, and he later threw at me.
That is the great Raymond Fosse. His bobblehead's right down here.
I have the highest winning percentage in Dodgers history as a starting pitcher.
Ooh, I would have not gotten this.
Minimum certain amount of things. So it's
I think more recent.
So it's got to be Kershaw.
No, actually, this guy pitched with Kershaw though.
You know about career?
Gonna be a Hall of Famer. You probably know him mostly as a Royal. Once an Angel and a Brewer.
Zach Greinke.
There, Zach Greinke. Astro, yeah. All right. I have the most home runs in a single season for the Dodgers.
Most home runs in a single season for the Dodgers. Interesting. I'm going to say
Orange County kid.
Okay. I'm going to say Piazza.
Incorrect.
No.
He's a great Blue Jay.
Drafted by the Blue Jays.
Oh, Sean Green. Gosh dang it.
49 in 2001.
Yeah.
The Dodgers have had 5. The Dodgers had 5 straight Rookie of the Year winners. Can you name them?
5 straight Rookie of the Year. Okay, I'm going to say, well,
you don't have to order. Just name them.
Okay. Hal Sutcliffe, Fernando Sachs, 79 to 82. That was 4 straight. Am I?
No.
It's more recent. I'm talking about the 90s.
Oh, God. Oh, Karros, Hollingsworth.
You just said the guy's name. Hall of Famer.
Oh, Sean Green. No, Sean Green's not Hall of Famer. Wait, okay. We're going Hollingsworth.
Okay, so think Eric Karros, who you said.
Yeah,
who came after Karros? Hall of Famer.
As a favor for Tommy Lasorda.
Piazza. Hollingsworth.
That's 3. There's 2. These ones are.
No, they're not hard. I knew them, and I hate the Dodgers.
I know. I'm so focused on 79.
Hollingsworth, too, and he's the last one. So you got to get – you already said Hollingsworth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, said Hollingsworth, yeah.
So they're the 2 guys. One guy comes from a foreign country.
Raul Mondesi.
And the other guy comes from Asia.
Great slider.
No, he split.
Nomo.
Yeah.
Hideo Nomo, the tornado.
Yeah.
By the way, ask Rocky's history. Is he ask Jenny, is Nomo still the only guy to throw no at Coors?
She's not. She's not in the room here.
Isn't he the only guy to throw a no at Coors?
Where did Bodo Jimenez throw his at? And he threw one.
I'm asking you.
Oh, I don't. I'd have to look.
I'm asking you, and then you're asking me back.
Are you so no hitters at
Hideo Nomo threw a no hitter at Coors Field. I know he's thrown. There's one.
Okay, hold on. Coors Field no hitters. Nomo.
I'm here for your baseball history, fans.
Gosh, this guy. Beautiful.
It says first of. Oh, he had 2 no hitters. Yeah.
By the way, throwing a no at Coors Field might be one of the great things that's ever happened in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a no at Coors Field, which is like, oh my God.
All right, Johnny. How many Cy Youngs did Sandy Koufax win?
3.
Correct. All right.
Very good. I think Johnny's done well.
Yeah, he did. I am the first LA Dodger to win the MVP award.
Who's the LA Dodger? Steve Garvey, 1974.
Friend of the program, the Garv.
Actually, no. The first guy to win it was Maury Wills.
What year?
1962. The next question was I won the MVP in 1974. So you got Garvey right.
Yeah. You know, won in the American League that year.
74?
Yeah.
I was 2 years old. No.
You were young. You were young.
1974. Who
He
won?
was a Texas Ranger.
Bob Horner?
Jeff Burroughs.
Jeff Burroughs.
Wow, that's great knowledge.
His son, Sean Burroughs, who was a great Padre, also played in the Little League World Series.
Oh, wow. It's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Johnny, that's all my Dodger questions because the last one was the Ray Fosse one.
Okay.
You know what? Okay.
It was decent. Yeah. The Rookie of the Years, I was set up for 79 to 82. That's more my time, but I get it. I get what you did. I understand.
Just one I thought off the top of my head. This is a broadcasting question. I took over for the legendary Vin Scully. Who am I?
Well, it's Joe Davis, right?
There it is. Look.
Here's my question for you, Dodger honk. Who is the greatest Dodger of all time? They actually did this poll in the LA Times.
The greatest Dodger of all time. Did they really? Wow.
Greatest Dodger of all time.
Man, I mean,
It's subjective, so you can say anybody.
Right. Wouldn't you say Jackie just for everything, right? I mean,
it was Vin Scully.
Was it raw? That's great. That's great.
A broadcaster got voted the greatest Dodger of all time.
66 years. Pretty good run.
I mean, and it's not like he went from like, well, you know, what a storied career. Vin started in Milwaukee and ended in Texas, right? I mean, he was in New York, the #1 market, to LA, the second largest market. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, we don't even talk about his historic stuff in football. Remember, he did the Masters. He did golf at CBS for years. But just Vin Scully, New York to LA, the career is just.
You could argue the greatest broadcaster of all time, like in the world, right? Like you could argue.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, if I went greatest Dodger of all time, I'd go Kenny Landreau.
Kenny Landreau. That's
Pedro Guerrero.
Hey, how about that? Hey, Pedro Guerrero, though, they got a good deal. That was Pedro Guerrero for Jack Fimple. So they got the best end of that deal.
Hey, and you and I both grew up with this in Southern California. Fernando Mania was real.
They got the anthem going right now.
Okay, have a good call. Goodbye.
Yes.
It's always uncomfortable when everybody stands up and you're like talking.
I thought Johnny was just saying that because he was tired of sitting.
So, like, when the anthem happens in Oakland and we're in our box, no one can hear us. So I can just keep talking with the pregame show. Coming up next, it's the A's up against the Astros.
That's when
and I'll talk to you after the ball. My signature line. I don't even know when I came up with that. I'll talk to you after the ball game.
That's usually right before or after when we start naming all the great players that are in attendance.
Yes. All the jerseys. Hey, Lou Gehrig's here today.
I always love that there's the guy that sits like literally in front of our box that always has like a Kai Tom or Andrew Triggs jersey on.
Yes. Who are you people that buy random A's players expensive jerseys? Like, seriously. I'm going to go spend $100 something and I'm going to put random A guy on there.
I think my favorite was the one time when we got Jessica Kleinschmidt with I think it was like, hey, Mark McGuire's here. She's like, where?
He's right there, number 25. Look, he's right there.
The guy's wearing the Babe Ruth jersey with the name on the back. It's like, he didn't have his name on the back. That wasn't a thing.
There was no 3 Ruth. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite A all time?
Mine?
Yeah. Who's your favorite A? Other than Ray Fosse.
If I had to pick, I'm going to go more recent because of my age, but I would probably go Giambi.
Oh, okay.
Who's yours?
Jose Canseco.
Makes sense.
I love Jose.
I mean, I like McGuire a lot too, but I watch McGuire more as a Cardinal.
I love Jose Canseco. Personally, you know how much there's certain guys that I love. I love Johnny Gomes. I love Donaldson. There's certain guys that I love. I love Judd Lowry. There's guys that I really loved. I mean, Ricky, just being around Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be doing a special thing with Ricky this season. I mean, Ricky's one of the greatest players of all time. But when I was in high school, Jose I'm in high school. I know I'm going to go play college baseball, right? That's my peak of baseball love. Canseco was the guy. Come on. Nobody was bigger than Jose Canseco.
Pitcher for me, I would go Barry.
Come on.
Barry Zito for me.
Oh, you're going, hey, I'm going to go Nolan Ryan with my favorite.
Mine was Maddox.
Love Nolan Ryan. Favorite A, pitcher, Dave Stewart.
Well, I didn't really get a chance to watch Stu pitch.
Stu. I work with Stu over at NBC. You know Stu's my guy. How do you not love Dave Stewart? That's been one of the coolest things about my job ever. When people ask, well, it's getting to watch these guys growing up and then getting to, it's one thing interviewing guys, but then when you get to really know guys.
Yeah.
Like I've spent hours and hours watching baseball now with Dave Stewart over at NBC to where I know Dave and can ask him questions and a lot about business and the game and, relocation and all this kind of stuff. Dave Stewart is a wonderful, wonderful man.
How do we think Johnny's
wonderful man?
How do we think Johnny's going to do tomorrow with Know Your Cubs?
It's a long history, man.
Let's ask him a question. Johnny, how many
long history.
How many times have the Cubs been in the postseason? I was asking that question.
A lot, because you got to go back to the early years. More than the White Sox, who've only been like 11 times.
Yeah.
Cubs have been more than, I mean, if you go back to them winning the World Series, they dominated the early 1900s, right?
Yeah. I don't think that I know the White Sox only made it like 11 times.
I think it's like 11 times the White Sox.
Yeah. It's
either 11 or 12, because their last time in the White playoffs was against us in 21.
Good. That's a good run. I mean, you think of historic franchises.
Mariners went 21 years without being in.
Yeah,
Coming up next, it's the A's and the Friars from Peoria. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.